Hi guys, thanks for joining me again. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Anne, and on my channel I review foreign international content. Today I'm back to review Alchemy of Souls, and we are at episode 5 and 6. And all I have to say is come closer, because these 2 episodes has my mind just going in all kinds of directions. I'm just like, what about this? What about this? Right? So the first question I have is about Naksuk. So we did find out that when her father is killed, it was Jin Mu who saved her, right? Now he takes her, he raises her, and he actually says, I'll give you powers, right? He gives her powers, and obviously she's very strong. So I'm just like, if that's the case, does that make her evil? Like, is that a bad spirit? Or is she being used by Jin Mu? Because remember, Jin Mu was there when he saw her father was killed, and he took her, meaning he knew that she would want revenge for her father being killed by Park Jin, right? And then we saw she grew up, obviously, and all she wants to do is kill everybody who has those powers. They're called Mage, M-A-G-E. So that's the first thing. The other thing I can't figure out is, what is Jin Mu's motive? Obviously, he was taught by Jag Khan how to do this soul shifting thing, and clearly he used it for his own good. So the soul that he went to get was supposed to be Jag Khan's soul before the king died. Remember that? So are we to assume that maybe Naksuk could have those powers as well if Jin Mu is the one who went and got the soul? You see, my mind is just, oh my God. And then what would that mean between the relationship between Naksuk and Jag-uk? What? Let me know if your mind started going the same way. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree then? Because now that we know she was raised by Jin Mu, all of a sudden it's like, what? And then don't forget, we just saw the preview in episode 6. She is willing to give Jag-uk back to the guy who was sent by Jin Mu. That guy has figured out that Naksuk is in Modiok's body. So she's willing to do anything so that this guy can get off her back. So she needs to train Jag-uk real quick to get strong, and so she's able to get her power back, so she's able to become Naksuk again. Are we together? I know, like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness. But obviously we saw in episode 5, I just loved 5, it was so good, where obviously they go back to her hometown and she's there to train him. And I love that guy, Master Lee, who looks like Jesus with the dog, right? Now we know he's a good guy, and clearly he is the master of all master. He's the one who trains all the Mudge. He's the one who even taught Grandpa and Park Jin. So he's very well known, although he never ages. He's still looking very, very young. And I loved, by the way, when they described all the different powers, levels of power. Jitsu, like the strength, right? I love that. And then Yusu, it's the able to emit energy from your body. Like we saw how he was able to like make that fire just go, right, bigger. And then we have Jisoo, when he was able to like dry his clothes by just looking at that, meaning he's reached all the different levels. Obviously he's here to teach Jag-uk to get to all those levels. And then I thought it was the most hilarious thing about drinking that tea that makes your libido go down. And he was like, Jag-uk is like, wait a minute, I did not sign up for all that. One day I do want to get married. I don't want that to go down. That was so hilarious. But he had drunk so much of that tea, but he's like, look, do you want to achieve all these levels? you may have to bring that down, right? That was so funny. And then we come to episode 6. Obviously, I think it's interesting that the crown prince really has a thing for Modiok, right? And then now we see the only way, I guess, they're thinking of saving Jag-uk. Even the crown prince is like, this is the only way to make sure that we don't fight each other, is to have Cho-yoon marry Jag-uk. Which is funny because before they were engaged and he broke off the engagement. So everybody's like, why would you do that? But apparently if he does that, he's gonna be considered part of her family. And because the king and the crown prince are in good terms with that family, then that means the grudge goes away, right? And I think that's interesting because now Modiok is like, you're gonna get married, I'm not gonna be your maid. And then she goes and hangs around the crown prince, who's like, so you're not gonna have a master? Do you wanna come and live with me? And then I love what she said. She's like, no, not gonna be a maid to any ordinary person. And then the crown prince is like, ordinary? I'm like the crown prince, right? And then obviously we saw Cho-yoon broke the jade, and then now she's spinning it on Modiok, who obviously goes in that room, gets sucked into that mirror, which looks a little bit scary and sorcery. I'm like, there's nothing good that's gonna come out of that. And then we just saw a preview. It seems like when she comes out, now she's seducing Soyul and the crown prince. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then now she wants to make sure that she's gonna hand over Jag-uk back to Jin-moo. Really, that's where that's what she's trying to do. And it's almost like I feel like Jag-uk clearly has fallen for her, but Modiok is fond of him, but I don't think she's where he's at, right? And that would make sense because her goal is to kill all the people who have the power, and that would include Jag-uk. Anyway, episode 5 and 6, so much information, has my mind spinning. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Because if that's who raised her, that could mean she could be evil and is being used to do evil by Jin-moo, who I don't trust at all. But I'm hoping Master Lee will come and save the day too, because he seems pretty powerful. And the other thing I'm interested to find out is, did the power that Nak-suk has come from Jag-khan, right? The other thing that would explain why Park Jin killed her dad is because, remember, he's the one who saw the big star. And the big star only comes out when the son was born, who is Jag-uk. So if the son is born and is Jag-uk, that means the dad found out the secret between the king and Jag-khan, that souls must have shifted, and meaning Park Jin had no choice but to kill him, because if he knows the secret, and then questions are gonna come up. So if the king had a son, who was the wife? And if he got pregnant with somebody else's wife, why did that happen? That means you'd have to explain the crossing of the souls. And then you'd have to explain why nobody ever told everybody that the king had a son, because he would be the one who would take the throne instead of the king's brother and the son, right? Are we together? Are you as confused as I am? Because I'm just like, this is a lot of information and it has my brain just going in all kinds of directions. Let me know what you think. As usual, I'm so interested in the comments. Let me know, are you thinking the same? Are you like Anne? No, I don't see that. And if you don't, let me know down below what you think is going on. Anyway, as usual, I'm always grateful that you join me for these reviews. And please join me next week when I review episode 7 and 8. And here's to hoping to more information that give us more clarity, because these 2 episodes has my mind like just like woo woo, what about this, what about that, right? But I am so loving it. I hope you are too. Join me next week, and as usual, if you like my video, give me a like, subscribe. It does help to support my channel, and I'll see you again next week. Deuces.